Fire Emblem Three Houses is coming out in about a month, and I, for one, could not be more hyped. To express this hype, I decided to make a list of my top 10 personal favorite Fire Emblem Three Houses characters. I will be picking 3 characters from each of the houses, as well as one of the teachers, for the list. Dimitri, Claude, and Edelgard will not be on the list, even though they're up there with my favorite characters. The list will be based off of personality and appearance, not usefulness, as I have no idea how useful these characters will actually be once the game comes out. So let's just jump right into it, starting off with the Black Eagles. Starting off our list at number 1 for the Black Eagles is Dorothea, and the most noticeable thing about Dorothea is that JoJo's hat. Now, I'm a big JoJo's fan, so when I see a Jotaro hat, I get excited. Just look at that hat, it is wonderful, and it makes me excited to use her in my army. I know the hat goes away for some or all of her promotions, but as long as it's on the sprite, that's okay with me. The second reason why she's my favorite is that she is a songstress. Now, there's only usually like one songstress in Fire Emblem games, so having Dorothea be a songstress bumps her up in my book of favorites. I think she's the only student songstress. I think Manuela, the teacher, can maybe be a songstress too. I don't know though. Anyway, only student songstress, that's an A+ in my book. And finally, the last reason she's my favorite is she is the only commoner among the Black Eagles. And I hope that brings with it some conflict, some strife, like just some misunderstandings. Like, I think that has the opportunity to be extremely interesting. Coming up on number 2 is the creepy boy Hubert. Just look at him. He looks like he wants to stab you in a back alley. He looks at you with one narrow eye, his hair covering the others. He's going through his emo phase and he looks like he's 50. He is a student that looks like he is 50, and I like that. His profile also describes him as calculating, and I just love that about him. He looks like a little creepy, he looks a little weird, he looks a little out there, and he's calculating, he's a tactician. And I think that has a lot of interesting potential, which is why he's one of my favorites. And finally, I'm excited to see where the game takes him. I'm excited to see like what he does if, you're a Black Eagle, and see how he helps you progress that story. I'm excited to fight against him if I pick one of the other houses and see like what sort of tactics and stuff he uses against you, and see how evil he really can become to his enemies. I think he's got a lot of potential to be one of the most interesting Three Houses characters, which is why he's my second favorite Black Eagles character. And finally, we have Bernadetta. We got Bernadetta on the list. Not Bernie Sanders, Bernadetta. Now, the first reason I like her, besides the fact that she wants to give me free college and healthcare, is she's shy. She holds up in her room, she likes candy, and as a fat neckbeard nerd, that's relatable. That is relatable. Not only is she relatable, she's also extremely cute, and I just want to give her a hug. What more could you want in a character? And that's why Bernadetta, Bernie Sanders, is number 3. Starting off our list for the Blue Lions is Ash, the white, long-haired anime boy. And just to start things off, I like that archetype a lot. Like, I'm a sucker for that archetype. When I was young, my favorite animes had characters like that. So, bit of a sucker for that archetype, and that's why he shot up so high on my favorites list for the Blue Lions. The second reason why he's my favorite, or one of my favorites, is he's a commoner. Now, in my opinion, commoners in a game where most of the characters are nobles have the potential to be more interesting. Like, they just inherently seem more interesting to me. They are commoners surrounded by nobles. That's unique. And what else makes him unique is he's an adopted child. I'm not sure if any of the other units are adopted, just him. So I'm excited to see if we're gonna meet his adopted dad, and maybe Ash realizes that, hey, his dad was a bit of a dick, an evil dick. And that'll come back and give him some character conflict. I just like that. He's adopted. There's potential there. That's why Ash is my first favorite Blue Lions character. My next favorite character for the Blue Lions has to be Felix. And the first reason why, the most notable reason, is look at that man bun. My boy's got man bun for days. The second and more story important reason is that he is a major crest user. Most of the students, including the actual lords themselves, Dimitri, Claude, Edelgard, are minor crest users. But Felix, a side character, is a major crest user. Now that makes him extremely interesting for me. Also, his bio describes him as a sharp-tongued lone wolf. And that kind of gives me like Jacob vibes from Fire Emblem Fates. I know Fates, but I kind of like Jacob and Fates. And if Felix is a little bit like that, that'd be cool. Yeah. My third and final favorite character for the Blue Lions has got to be Sylvain. Besides the fact that he's got red hair, which is already a plus, he has a fondness for sweet-talking girls, so a man after my own heart. Also, he's not a crest user, and while that might sound boring, I feel like the game could do something with that, considering most of his peers are crest users, but he's not. I wonder if that's gonna come up in the story, or if it's just gonna be forgotten about and he's just the worst character. Hope it's the first option. Could be the second, but hey, I'm staying hopeful. And finally, he's described as an older brother figure, and I've also got a soft spot for older brother figures. I think that Fire Emblem does those kinds of characters very well, so I'm excited to see Three Houses' take on that. Now we're on to the top 3 for the Golden Deer, and let me tell you, this was a tough list to pick. If I had my way, pretty much all the Golden Deer characters would be on this list, but we're doing it 3 people per house. Alright? Alright. Now the first favorite for the Golden Deers has got to be Lysithea. Right off the bat, I just like her design. I like the white hair and the red eyes. I like the albino character look. And she's also, in addition to that, a talented mage. And I have a soft spot for magical prodigies, talented mages. I just like mages, and mages in Fire Emblem are usually pretty good. Just ignore most of Fire Emblem Fate's dark mages. Odin. Anyway, I'm also excited to see her post-time skip, because she's 15 in the story, but we know there's a time skip that takes place 5 years in the future, and I'm excited to see how she grows in that time. Hopefully she does grow in that time, otherwise it'd be a little creepy. Anyway, that's why Lysithea is number 1 for the Golden Deer. Number 2 for the Golden Deer has got to be Marianne. Now right off the bat, you can see she's got bags under her eyes. That tells me real student, she's relatable. An actual student staying up late at night studying and probably failing the next day. Relatable student, right? Also, she loves birds and animals, and as someone who has worked at animal stores in the past and has a fondness for animals myself, hey, A+, I like that. And finally, she is kind of shy, she's kind of reclusive, she doesn't talk a lot, so I'm thinking blue-haired Bernie Sanders. Yeah, you get me? That's why Marianne is number 2 for the Golden Deer. And finally, number 3 for the Golden Deer. We couldn't have a list without him. You know him, you love him. The goddamn sexiest character in Fire Emblem Three Houses, it's Lorenz. Lorenz is beautiful. Look at his hair. His hair is so dumb, it wraps around to being attractive. That is how weird his hair is. He's also a failure of a flirt, and personally, I think that's very relatable. I'm a failure of a flirt myself. Lorenz, we got something coming, buddy, besides the, hair. And finally, I bet he's gonna be extremely attractive after the time skip. No joke, I bet the time skip is gonna, be the ultimate glow-up for Lorenz. Bookmark this, come back in a month, and tell me when I'm right. Just tell me when I'm right, at how good Lorenz is gonna look in the future. That's why Lorenz is number 3. Hey, it's me, it's your boy Tong, coming at you with the power of editing. Future Lorenz has now been shown off, and let me just say I was right. Don't even gotta wait a month, just look at my boy, look at how pretty he is. Lorenz, such a glow-up. Anyway, back to the video, my dudes. And finally, at number 10 overall, probably my favorite character reveal so far, you know it, it's Catherine, one of the teachers. Now right off the bat, she's a major crest wielder, and she uses a legendary sword. Sort of like Byleth, but instead of, little blue-haired anime boy, it's very attractive, grown-up, older, mature, blonde teacher lady. And you know what? Cool, awesome. Her design is absolutely wonderful. Camilla wishes she could have a design as good as Catherine. Just look at that, it's practical, it's attractive, it's sleek. Just look at that. Catherine is a woman that kicks ass and takes names, and I for one cannot wait to see how good she is in the actual final game itself. Alright, that wraps it. What do you mean I forgot someone? Oh, I did forget someone. I'm sorry everyone, I said this was a top 10 list, but really, this is a top 10 plus 1 list. You see, there's a separate category on this list that I didn't put in. The Raphael tier. Now, here we go. The Raphael tier. Number 1 is Raphael. Why Raphael? Why is he number 1 in the Raphael tier? Look at that face. It's chubby yet muscular. He's got a chin that could break stone. Look at his exposed chest. He can't even button his shirt on. He's so ripped, he's so muscly, his shirt can like barely stay buttoned. One of those buttons is gonna pop out and hit an enemy, kill him, knock him out from across the field. God damn it, I just love you so much, Raphael. And also, right, going into the story, he's got a tragic backstory. His parents were killed, but he's still optimistic. He still smiles. He still does everything with like a smile on his face. And you know what? When he smiles, just look at that smile. How could you say no to that smile? That smile, I would kill for that smile. I would die for that smile. I would die for Raphael. And that's why Raphael is number one for the Raphael tier. And number one for my favorite characters revealed so far ever. I just hope that the game does him justice. Alright, that's really gonna wrap things up for my top 10 plus 1 list for Fire Emblem 3 Houses. If you like this list, please consider subscribing and following my Twitch at twitch.tv/TongofLegend. I will be streaming Fire Emblem 3 Houses day 1 when it comes out, probably all day, and I would love you to come by and just say hello. Follow me on Twitter at TongsTweets for some, pretty mediocre tweets. And if you made it this far, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. I've loved Fire Emblem ever since Awakening. That's the game that got me into the franchise, and I've gone on to since play a few more. Echoes is probably my favorite. Hopefully 3 Houses changes that. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. And please, for the love of God, be good 3 Houses. My hype just cannot get any higher. And I don't want that hype to be for nothing. Thank you.